ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of GeekVerse podcast. I am one of your hosts, the Banking Clan Taylor Field, and I'm joined by
I'm fresh out the cooker, Kirkland Pizza.
yes, and we are here continuing on the Galaxy Far Far Away spoilers review of Skeleton Crew episode 5 tonight. Before we get out, a couple of plugs. You can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter. GeekVerse is our Facebook. I need you to do me a big favor. Go check out the Patreon. We can get ad-free, exclusive, early content available there, including, because there's just so much DCU stuff popping off right now. We have the Superman trailer. You can get access to the retrospective for Superman on our Patreon, where we have the 4 refilms, we have Supergirl, and we have Superman Returns, so it's a good time. Lots of great stuff there with me, Kirkland, and Travis. Aside from that, we've got lots of stuff that's dropping right now. We did a Nosferatu review, we have Creature Commandos reviews, and we have Dexter Original Sin that's been popping off, so lots of stuff. And Dylan has a Game of the Year award. I shouldn't say award, just Game of the Year. Between Kirkland, you there, and Dylan himself, so that's something to look forward to. But Patreon producers, you guys are fantastic. Thank you for all that you do. Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Muds, Sam, Superbad Mike, God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, and Charlie Randall. We love you guys. You folks are fan-freaking-tastic. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this on our non-spoilers first. Kirkland, what did you think of this episode?
What did I think of this episode? Episode 5, titled "You Have a Lot to Learn About Pirates." I like this episode. I don't think it was as hot for me as last week's was, but I still think it was a nice juicy nice juicy episode with just some interesting plot progression things that were going on. And I like the locations that we went to. It felt new and fresh and kind of just it's nice in Star Wars whenever you can go to like a new planet and not just feel like a carbon copy of something like Tatooine. You know, that's the classic meme where we just keep going to Tatooine like planets. So it is nice to just I guess see a different area of the galaxy. I think there was some fun, like, again, it's supposed to be a kid's show, so like the peril aspects, they don't seem that intense, but like they still are there, and it feels like there is some sense of urgency overall with the plot, which is nice. I feel like we have something on our heels, us being the characters and the people watching them. So that was good. And I think there's just remains some intrigue in the sense of like a mystery that I want to unravel. So definitely I'm gonna be doing these weekly episodes with you, but if I wasn't, I feel like there's enough here that makes me want to keep watching the show, so that's always good. And beyond that, I don't really want to say too much spoiler free wise. I am still liking the show, even though there was some moments in here that I wasn't the biggest fan of. But again, we'll wait to see for the final product to really judge some of the decisions that were kind of had here. But some good juice.
Yeah, I think this episode was really, really awesome. It was a lot of fun. And the way it ended too had me on cloud 9. I was super, super stoked. So I feel like, okay, where we're at now, one character, I feel like their kind of position in the universe has reaffirmed for me. The kids, I'm Wim, right? Am I getting that right?
Oh, you got Wim.
Wim. You know what? He had one moment in this episode where I thought, holy shit, this is a game changer. And if this goes, then like, holy fuck, Wim, you're fucking fantastic. You've done a whole U-turn. And you know what? Didn't happen, and this fucking kid is annoying as ever. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
This is
Look at me! Oh no! Jesus Christ!
That's exactly it.
It went as Wim-like as I would have expected it to go.
Oh,
but,
my
they
God.
still caught me off guard there, but that's funny.
Yeah, goddamn. But I think all in all, this episode had a lot of surprises to it, and I really did enjoy how things kind of played out near the end. And yeah, just a whole plethora of, I don't want to say cameos because it's not that, but this new planet that we went to, they really capitalized on the variety of alien species. And I saw someone actually go through and name off all the different aliens that were actually present in this episode. And wow, it is such a sandbox. A lot of them are familiar, a lot of them we know, and then there were a few that were unidentified and some that were new as well. But really, really enjoyed it. I have a list here of just different Easter eggs from the
Nice.
the episode that I'll cover later on. Just a few of them, which we can talk about. But yeah, all in all, I think this is great. Really, really had a lot of fun with this episode, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hell
Anything
yeah.
else?
No, not spoiler free wise.
Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to skedaddle into some spoilers now. So go watch the episode, and if you have, then stick around. We're gonna have a good time. So, yeah, where do you want to start with the spoilers?
Where do I want to start? Just start at the end with the juicy betrayal.
I
and
I think that's a good place.
we get some lightsaber action going. Yeah, I feel like part of me kind of just expected this eventual portrayal, especially like every character that we meet along our path is like, don't trust Jod. Jod? Yeah, Jod, right? I don't, why does it sound so
Yeah,
heavy in my,
should be Jod.
sounds so weird in my head. But anyways, don't trust this guy. He's going to betray you. Everybody has been saying that. Then we get to the moment, and then as soon as he can, he basically just betrays them. And I don't know. I feel like there is some certain things that are hidden below the crust, but just maybe for his motivation wise, like I don't think it was as mustache twirly of a betrayal as it kind of seemed. It could be that way, especially just with how it happened. As they list off, it's just basically a infinite money glitch. That's what this planet is, and then he kind of gets excited, and that's when he decides to betray everyone. But just with how it was being laid out, it almost seemed like, I don't know, it wasn't as like black and white as it might have seemed. I don't know if you kind of felt the same way there. Like, just like, do you think it was just a straight up, okay, well, I have infinite money if I betray these kids, so I'm just gonna do that? I feel like it's pretty like dumb if that is just the reason. That just really makes the character, in my mind, pretty one dimensional in that sense. But I don't know. What do you think about that? Just his quick betrayal there.
I think that his betrayal was a little bit too fast and expedited. I think that, okay, now that you know that, okay, you can basically produce your own money off of this planet, it's not going to be that easy. I think using the kids still to get into that planet on good terms is the way to do it. But again, from his point of view, he's probably thinking, okay, I need to get in here and sneak in here and leave the kids behind and all that kind of stuff. Or, well, I don't know. I'm not sure his motive, because he wanted to take them prisoner. He didn't want to hurt them. He wanted to do things differently. So he must have had a plan in the back of his mind of how he was going to go forward with this.
Yeah.
But that obviously derailed when Wim tried to go full Jedi on him and activated the lightsaber upside down.
Fool of a toque. Yeah. So I'm kind of with you in that sense of, maybe it's just my hopefulness is making me think that more so than anything. Because, yeah, like I said, if it is just, oh, yeah, infinite money if I just betray these kids, that's kind of stupid. It makes the character just a lot lower on my ratings list if I were to make one. But the other thing that kind of bothered me in this situation, which, it's the pirate way, I guess. You can just kind of challenge the captain at any point, and, like, this robot that is like supposed to be protecting our children is just so fucking useless. As soon as like any time for a plot reason, like we need them to be in peril, he's just so absolutely useless. So I don't know. I like SM-33 to an extent, but like just the whole I challenge them to a duel thing. It's been done many times in different veins, and you could say it's a very piratey thing. I don't know if that actually is a piratey thing, but I just hated that whole moment. And yeah, it just clearly the fully grown adult male is gonna be able to overpower this child. And she even makes the point of like how unfair the whole situation was. And that's where I was like, I'm really hoping this is actually gonna lead to something. Like, he just needs to be captain to access something, and then it's gonna be like a whole, not what you thought type of situation. But that's at least not how the episode ended. But yeah, it just seemed really, really eye rolly when he's like the robot is so sus of Jod and like protecting the captain this whole time, and then as soon as he's like, I'm gonna challenge the captain, it's like, okay, yeah, you can murder these children, so go ahead. It was so stupid to me. But I digress.
It is unfortunate, and I see where you're coming from with that. he's either being triggered and trying to kill the kids, or he's letting you challenge to the death kind of stuff. Like he's just there as a, I don't even know what he's there really for. He's just there as like an extra personality, I guess you could say. But yeah, it is what it is. And so he's teamed up with Jod, and yeah, I want to like him a little bit more, but all I really can remember him by, and it's just always engraved in my head, especially because Travis just keeps sending it too. But can't say I know of any Atten or some whatever his freaking line is. So that's all I'm really going to be able to take away from that character is that I can't say I've ever known of any Atten. But I do digress. The his motivations and just wanting to get like produce this unlimited amount of Republic credits. It's interesting because I feel like we haven't really seen this before with a planet in the Republic that produces money or currency. I feel like it's always just been okay, the banking clan. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like that was a big thing in the Clone Wars and some of the episodes because you have both the Separatists and you have the Republic both turning to the banking clan for loans, and that, I mean, that's where you get your money from. And Sidious ends up doing this really shady thing where he ends up being able to take over a large amount of the banking clan, if I remember correctly, in the Clone Wars. And so he's able to kind of get a little bit more finance on his side, which is pretty super, like really, really shady. But because of the banking clan being mentioned here in this episode, then you have the Munes, which were present, and that was super cool because okay, the Munes, that's Plagueis, and I am so confident that this was a setup to get people seeing the Munes and just that's it, yeah, Plagueis. I think this is like a pitch to kind of make people have that in the back of their minds because the Munes are going to be playing a bigger part coming up. No longer because Acolyte Season 2 got canned because fans are fucking driving people up the wall.
He's
so
gonna forever be waiting in this cave to come
waiting
out.
in the cave forever. Yeah, god damn it. So what do you think about all that?
No, I mean I liked what you were mentioning, just wanting to be building up more relevance to the Munes and the banking clan because they are a very just relevant thing like throughout the entire Star Wars kind of just like story, because as you just mentioned, like and even just overall in wars and military, it's usually the people that have the biggest wallet are gonna be the best off. So just the fact that they have so much power in that sense, I want them to be more present in these Star Wars stories. And yeah, I love the Darth Plagueis novel, and obviously that's a big part of it is because he is immune and about the banking clan, so you get a little bit more of an insight there. But yeah, it is unfortunate that we're not going to be getting that access in Acolyte. Hopefully there's going to be other just other routes to go down to tackle those characters and stuff.
Can you name me a movie that has a live action Mune in it?
Phantom Menace, right? I thought like Darth Bane is Jesus, not Darth Bane. Darth Plagueis is like on the balcony when Sidious is having a meeting with someone.
That was probably in the book.
Okay. Yeah. Some crossover there.
But in Attack of the Clones, you get this guy.
Oh my gosh, look at that Mune looking motherfucker. They sure are ugly.
Yes, yeah, they really are.
Attack of the Clones, you say?
Attack of the Clones, yeah, when
Okay.
he's like, the Bacon Clan will sign your treaty. And that's our only representation.
That's beautiful. I feel like, honestly, in retrospective, I thought I pictured like more of them. Like I thought it was like a more just relevant thing. Like I'm surprised just hearing that it's just Attack of the Clones. Like I would have imagined there would have been like the Senate, just have like one of those booths.
Very well could be. It's just, I mean, they have ET in there, so they could throw a couple Munes for all I know.
Who knows? They probably got this guy too. He's probably got a booth. Just with that long hair. Yeah, cool. So that's kind of I gave my shtick on the betrayal at the end. The lightsaber, that's kind of a exciting thing to get a lightsaber in here. What do you think Jod's gonna be doing with this thing? He looked pretty pumped to be getting it. He did the whole classic, force pull towards him.
Yes, and he was using the Force a lot more in this episode, which I liked, and kind of telling Wim, like, hey, you're the herald of your own destiny. You can make whatever you want happen for yourself. And so yeah, the lightsaber, silver with a bit of a gold accent to it. I saw it and I thought, okay, this has to be a High Republic era souvenir. Like it's just it has to
Yeah.
be. So I was really jabbing with it, and we know that it's got like it's a light blue. It's not like a dark blue, so it's light blue, which is very cool. Um, yeah, and just him getting it, I was getting vibes of Marcion Rowe. I guess Marcion Rowe, sorry. And he is a Nihil leader, the Eye of the Nihil in the High
Ooh.
Republic era, and he's one of Travis's favorite characters. He's just such a badass, and he goes through this whole kind of thing to rise to power, ends up getting a lightsaber. He gets a yellow lightsaber, so he's not a force user or anything like that, but he's just very powerful, and he has this lightsaber that he uses too. He stole it from a Jedi. And now here you have this guy who is a pirate. He's a force user, and he gets a lightsaber. And I think that, okay, this is really cool. Now he's good with blades because we've seen him try to get like daggers and swords and stuff like that before, and now he's got a lightsaber, which is kind of in line with him as a character. But I'm wondering about his history. A lot of people were talking about how he could possibly be just a Padawan, and that Order 66 happened and he just went rogue and had to make a name for himself. That's why he kind of has a little bit of insight onto some Jedi teachings. Um, but yeah, I really love what their approach is with this character and how he's not a Jedi and he's just a Force user who's a pirate, and he now has a lightsaber. And I think it's just a very cool twist that you don't always have to have Jedi and Sith and all that kind of stuff, but you can
Mm-hmm.
add these other characters that didn't get selected for the program, so to speak, and so they've kind of found their own way, and this is his way. And I think that there's a lot of story that we can explore with something like this because it is so new, and it just really adds a lot more bizarre to this show. And it'll be really interesting to see how it's going to unfold, because now is he going to go to Ed Atten pretending to be a Jedi and saying, I need to make a withdrawal here or something like
Right.
that. Like, and I think that would be super cool to see him show up and actually like fake that and pretend, because obviously they, aside from the supervisor, which we don't know who the supervisor is yet, the planet thinks that the High Republic is still in power and thinks that a lot of galactic level events haven't happened yet. They don't know about Alderaan. They don't know about Fall of the Empire or anything like that. So there's a whole can of worms here that I'm really excited to see unfold when he actually gets there. Yeah, but what do you think?
Yeah, I like that idea of him like having the guise of the Jedi. I feel like it's a lot. There's a lot of things that have to kind of go his way in order to like that plan to work out. Just I feel like he has to have a lot of knowledge about the High Republic and like just how those Jedi would kind of carry themselves, or even just the state of what like. It just seems like he doesn't even really fully understand the whole AT-AT and being like completely removed from like the events of the galaxy and stuff like that. Like it just seems like it would be a hard sell. But I do like the idea. I really like the idea of him being this something else that's not a Jedi and not just a dark Jedi, you know, because I feel like a lot of the times lightsaber users kind of get just put into those two categories of, okay, are you a light side or are you a dark side user? Like there is no in between. Um, I just Googled as you were mentioning him, the Markion Rowe character. What a badass. Is that like the bounty hunter character? I remember you guys kind of talking about him in the past.
He's not a bounty hunter, I'd
Just a
say.
straight up
Like
badass.
he's just straight up badass. Yeah.
I like it. We need more of those
His
characters in the Star Wars universe.
I don't think it's his family. No, it's not his family, but he's connected to the Santekas, and the Santeca, you'll meet Lor Santeca, who is actually in the Force Awakens, and basically they are a family that had rich knowledge on star charts and maps and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so Markion Rowe tapped into that, and so he was able to help the Nihil create like special routes throughout the galaxy. And it's just crazy, like his mind, his technology, and everything he was putting in. And he basically put the Republic in a crippling state with what his ideas and his warmongering was able to do. But he's just such a cool character, and yeah, yeah. They need to bring him to live action. They really do.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's sweet from what I've seen. But for Jude Law's character, I do like how there is still a lot of mystery around him because we still don't fully understand like what his true motivations are. I feel like they're really hinted up to being just he just wants all this money. I hope it's something more than that. I'm not saying he has to be like a chosen one type character to bring balance to the force and all that, but I don't know. I just want him to be a little bit more complex than what meets the eye on the surface. Because yeah, it just seems a little bit flat. But I do love the idea of him just having the force powers like to his very limited. He's pretty much just doing force pull, force push, and that's kind of it. But throw a lightsaber in there, I think his skill set's just getting expanded. And yeah, I'm just really interested in knowing maybe more about this character because I imagine we got like a big reveal. Part of me coming up to just fully explain how we got into this whole situation. Maybe they won't. Maybe it's just he has the force. I kind of thought it was gonna be. I was still in the back of my mind thinking that it might just be like, oh yeah, he's got this like thing on his glove that like allows him to do this. Like it really isn't the force. He just has technology in order to kind of mimic force powers. I thought it was going to be revealed in this episode, and it wasn't. So again, it's just further making me believe that he is using the real stuff, the real juice, the real substance of the force. But yeah, no, I mean, he's potentially dangerous now, right? Like he's got a lightsaber and the force to his disposal. It's no mere blaster or anything, so he can really do some harm or good. And I don't know, just with the whole vibe of the show, I imagine it'll be some good in the end. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and he's wanted too. I mean, you got that one bounty hunter.
That's right.
Like Pokite, I think her name was. She
Pokey.
pops up. Pokite, yeah. She pulls in there and knows him by a different name, a fake name, and is kind of like a private contractor now. So she reaches out to the pirate guys and is like, "Yeah, okay, here's the coordinates. We'll take him down." And they kind of chase after him, basically waging war because they're shooting down ships on as they approach. And they manage to, like, their crew manages to get away from them because they refill that room with acid, which I can imagine that would have been horrific for them on the other side of that door. But yeah, no, I think that it was cool to kind of see a little bit more like the bounty hunter kind of side of stuff here and see how that kind of plays out if she's going to be kind of an antagonist moving forward.
Yeah. Brutal way to go.
I guess we should jump to a quick ad break here, and then we'll be right back. And we are back. So where do you want to go next?
I guess I'll just mention some things that happened with our kiddies here. They no kids allowed on this planet. It's like an 18 plus situation. I'm sure there's some wild parties that are going on this planet here, but honestly, this planet reminded me of The Fifth Element when they go on like this, like the cruise. Do you remember Fifth Element?
I watched it a while ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
Give me a
anyways,
recap.
it's just like a big party cruise that they go on, and it just seems like that's the vibe of what this planet is. But anyways, so yeah, no kids. They have to dress up as these elders, and just the whole. I don't know. There's a bunch of things that happen around the characters, but I liked a lot of like the humor that was kind of bouncing off them. A lot of just the jokes were hitting for me in these moments, but also just seeing like the different attire and outfits that they had. And yeah, just at the end when it when their guise is revealed, I found it funny when it's like, Jod, you're under arrest. Step away from the elders. It's like, we're not elders, we're kids. Oh, well, you're under arrest too. So yeah, it was just funny little back and forth there. But yeah, no, it was again, like I was saying in the preamble, it's kind of nice to just see a different type of planet that is different than we've seen in the past, right? They're not just straight up, oh, we're going to be checking your ship. It's like, oh, this is a neutral planet. Welcome, 18 plus, no children. And it's just a total different vibe when they arrive. And yeah, it was just kind of nice to see.
Yeah, I thought that was funny how they picked. I guess I don't know if it's a real species, but they just gave the kids this fake identity of these aliens, and they were talking. I thought they could have just passed as Jawas or something like that, and who's going to question it? But,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought that was humorous. So, Yeah, I don't have anything else I can really add to it.
Yeah,
Pretty black and white.
I'm picking I'm picking through my weeds here. We saw a hut-like creature in this episode, right?
Yes.
Anyone of relevance? Just a distant cousin of one of the huts.
Do you remember the twins in Book of Boba Fett?
Oh God, yes I do. I didn't until you just reminded me, but yes I do.
So the speculation is that they are, at least that's one of them. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see.
We'll
These
do
are
a detailed
the
breakdown.
Book of Boba Fett twins. You got the one on the right here, and I want you to note this tattoo on his chin.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And with that tattoo, let me just add this in here. See, this hut from the episode also has a tattoo on the chin.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it.
But there's something else. Now this hut, see how it has this like dome skull?
Yeah.
I also want you to notice the eyes. The pupils much more black. Now if
Right.
we go here, smaller
More yellow.
pupils, more yellow orange, and look at the dome. It's not a cone, right?
Sorry,
It's
I
just
got
super
distracted
round.
by that little image to the left of just. Is that just like with the fucking 8-pack? What the fuck is that image? That is the biggest
So-
AI image I've ever seen in my life.
So you
Okay,
know
sorry.
how
Distracted.
Rhoda the Hutt, Jabba's son, is supposed to be coming back for the Mando movie?
I
That
did not know
apparently-
this, but okay.
Well, you know Jabba's son, right?
No.
Okay, this is a Clone Wars movie, and Jabba's son goes missing, and Ahsoka and Anakin have to save him. And basically, that same hut, Jabba's son, Rhoda the Hutt, is supposed to be coming back for the Mando movie, and it's supposed to be him getting lost, and that he has to get saved again. And so this is just one of the jokes that's like a super jacked Rhoda the Hutt, just like 8-pack, just fucking shredded. Just one of those
It's
weird
so
fucking
stupid.
thumbnails.
It's
Oh
so
yeah.
stupid. I love it. Anyways, back to the twins and the
He's,
comparison here.
he's being voiced by I can't remember his name from The Bear, the actor.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Um,
Good
yeah,
actor.
But yeah, back to the twins. So
Yeah.
you can see here you can see the chin tattoo, and you can
Totally.
see the
Different head. Yeah.
Very different head. And he's also, this hut is more green. This one not so much. Even
More
like
shit
the
brown,
shoulder
yeah.
pads are different. Yeah, shit brown. He's a different hut, but I think it's fun that people are kind of speculating that okay, maybe it is like something similar. Maybe this hut is related to the other hut, hence the similarity with
Yeah.
the neck
Because
tattoo.
Jabba didn't have that tattoo thing, right?
No, Jabba the Hutt was
Oh, yeah.
just balls for chin, kind of.
Yeah. Big nutsack chin.
Yeah.
He looks so basic compared to these new huts that we're seeing, you know? He
And
just
you
looks
know
like
what?
vanilla.
It's because of the CGI. They're kind of just making the CGI. I think the CGI is a little
Adding
bit
more
too
details.
much. Well, yeah, adding more details with like the little like cosmetic things on there. But I wish that they were still doing a practical approach. Can you imagine how fucking shitty of a job that would be to be
Oh, man.
carrying around these two huts on this platform?
Don't drop them either.
Yeah, no kidding. My God. Unless you just get a gig like what's this pickle? Oh my God. I only know him by his code name. Yeah.
Machete, yeah. this guy,
yeah, Danny Trejo. Yeah, just with his little hovercraft. Oh my goodness.
Get this shit off the screen. Fuck
We
Book
need
of
to
Boba
rewatch
Fett.
that show.
No, we do
That's
not.
great.
Don't say that. I've done way too many viewings of that show in my lifetime. Cool. Yeah. No. I don't think I really have anything else. Like our bounty hunters are kind of getting closer on their tail. What's your like prediction on that? I imagine it's going to be something like they actually get the upper hand on Jod or the children, and then one or the other ends up saving the others. I kind of just feel like that's going to be what happens with that, but hopefully I'm surprised.
Yeah. We learned the ship's name in this episode.
I missed that. Remind me, what was the
The
name?
Onyx Cinder.
That's a cool name.
Captained by Tack Renaud.
Yeah, called that name. That was a cool name.
That was a cool name. Yeah. I don't know if that ship has any other place in Star Wars. I've never heard of it before, but there we go. We got to see that new giant octopus thing.
Oh yes, that was really cool. That was some not like overusage of a CGI character. It seemed like it was well placed. So yeah, I really appreciated that inclusion. And I don't think it was an alien that we've really seen before in the main Star Wars stories, eh?
No, now we've seen other octopus-like creatures before, but this is something new. I think it was called my C's and T's at the start of a word always elude me.
Yeah.
Uh, a thalops, I think that's what they're calling it. But yeah,
Sure.
it's friendly and it helps them, which is cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the Easter eggs I got. We kind of already touched upon everything else. I just think at the end of the day, it is funny how everyone keeps warning them about, hey, don't trust this guy. He's bad
Yeah.
juju and so forth and so forth. And yeah, they just stuck it out with him. And I guess it makes sense because you do think that he is kind of turning over a new leaf, or he is kind of a good guy because he does things that are for the betterment of the group until he got to this point. So it'd be interesting to see where we go from that. Because how many episodes was this show again in total? Was it 8?
Ooh. Let me see. Skeleton.
I feel like it's 8. It can't be 6 because that would be a horrible penultimate episode.
3. That's not right. We're past that point now. 8 episodes.
8 episodes.
yes.
Okay. So we've got 3 more. This feels appropriate because I feel like this kind of set the tone for us kind of steering into that finale. And I feel like next episode we could probably be at and we got to see the parents too. Your favorite guy, the dad, was popping off at the start of this episode doing some shady shit. So
Shady.
we know the parents are trying to take things and matters into their own hands. So there's going to be an interesting kind of clash up here, and I'm excited to see if next episode is the parents dealing with Jod, and then the kids get to add in the penultimate episode, and then we have that kind of like a two-parter, them dealing with the fallout and trying to figure things out. So it'll be cool to see. Anyways, though, I think we've kind of covered everything, and we're gonna close this out.
Hell yeah. Let's get out of here.
Cool. All right. We'll be back next week, continuing into a galaxy far, far away. So may the force be with you.
Always.